What's going on, guys? It is Caleb, and today I'm going to show you guys how to use the pen tool when inside of Photoshop to make precise cutouts of an image and remove its background. Like I said, using the pen tool and not using the magic wand tool. And the reason why I'm making this video is because a lot of people were commenting on the first video saying that, "Oh, Caleb, you don't have a actual background like all the rest of us," because I had a white background, which was fairly easy to cut out, especially using the magic wand tool. And I will say the magic wand tool is easily used for videos, or not necessarily videos, but images similar to the image that I used. Also, it's fairly useful for making small, quick selections of the same color. It's not good for, like, for instance, trying to make a selection of this photo, and I'll go and demonstrate that in a second. Um, Most professionals also prefer to use the pen tool over the magic selection tool, or the magic wand tool and the quick selection tool, just because it's more precise and accurate, and you get a much more crisp picture in the overall outcome. So let's go ahead and go to File and open up our photo, in which I've already done. It's just a simple woman that I grabbed off Google. And let's double click the lock over here and just give it a default layer name of layer 0. And if I go ahead and click on the magic wand tool, as you can see, right now we're on the minus, so let's go and add by clicking this. If we start clicking around and try to add things, it's necessarily, as you can see, it's grabbing this ledge that her leg is on. It's not necessarily grabbing all of the color. A lot of extra clicking is needed. Let's see if we can get her shirt. And eventually you will get the overall outcome of this girl's head. As you can see right there, that we just selected all of the sky. Let me zoom in a little bit more for you guys so you guys can all see here. Yeah, as you can see, the sky is selected now. Let's get some of her hair in here. Overall, it's just not that great. So let's deselect it. Let's try the quick selection tool. Yeah, this is doing a much better job than what the tool before we were using. And let's see what it's grabbing here. Yeah, this is much better. Quick selection is really good. Let's go ahead and deselect that. And let's go down here, right above our text tool, there's a pen tool. And we just want to go ahead and click the pen tool. Now I'm going to show you how the pen tool works. And I'm going to zoom in here fairly close to her shoulder. And what we're going to do, we're going to take the pen tool around the outside of her sleeve here. And I'm going to show you how the pen tool works. So the pen tool works by making little markers. And it's really good at making 45-degree up to 90-degree angles. And you're like, okay, so that's pretty cool. So how does it really work? And essentially what you want to do is create a marker and make a point, and as you click, hold down your mouse to drag it out. As you can see, I'm dragging this little point out right here, and grabbing the handles will change the curve, and it will give it a different feel, and you pretty much just want to play around with it until you get the curve or the line to go with the outline of what you want to cut out. As you can see here, if I zoom in a little bit more, I'm grabbing this curve, or from this point to here, and I'm made a nice little curve here. Something that I did that you probably wouldn't be aware of is that I held down the Alt key, or also known on Windows as the Option key, and what I did, I hovered over the square. Make sure that you're not over a handle, and you can tell the difference between the handles and the actual marker by the handles. If you click on the handle, well, that added another marker. You have to hit the Command key or the Control key on Windows to actually edit this point individually. But if you hit the actual little circle, you can edit the handle, but we want to make sure that we're on the square because this is the actual marker point. And right now, if we hover over it, we're having a black slash. So if we just click it, um, it's not really going to do anything. But what we want to do, we want to hold down the Option or Alt key and click it. And as you can see, that handle just disappeared. And what this will do, this will give us a new fresh start. So what I mean by that is that whenever we're working on our curves, and I'll zoom out a little bit here, and I'll zoom back in and scroll over by her shoulder. Say we're turning this way, and say that we're turning this way, but now say all of a sudden we come to a straight line, and we just want it to go straight from here. If you see, we have a nice little bevel, nice little curve going from here to here, when really we just want a straight line. And if I Control Z this, and hold down the Alt key or the Option key on Windows, and click on the square, and then I try to make a new point, our line is completely straight, unlike before when we had that curve. And this just resets your marker. So it's just Control Z all these. And what we want to do, we want to finish out the outline of our person, or whatever you want to crop out the background from. And just remember to hit the Alt key and hit the square each time. This way you won't run into any problems and no like funky looking curves inside of your images or while using your pen tool. And just drag out your handles and make them nice and round. And keep doing so all the way until you get around your whole picture. And let me zoom out here, and I'm just going to connect it back. Oop, Control Z that. I'm just going to connect it back to the original starting position where we started from. And you'll see it connect back whenever you hover over, and right next to the pen tool will be a little circle or an O. And you just want to click that. And as you can see, it pretty much just made an outline of a shape. And what we want to do now is right click, and we want to make it a selection, and go ahead and click OK. And what this will do, this will transform our shape that we just outlined with the pen tool into a selection. And if we want, we can go to a selection tool, and really we need to go to a selection tool. So if we click on the quick selection tool now, we now have a selection. And what we really are looking for is this refine edge button up here at the top. So if we go ahead and click the refine edge, we'll get a nice little control panel box that will pop up. And I'm going to go ahead and cancel out of this, and I'm going to deselect this. I'm going to hop over to the other layer of my lady that I've already pretty much took a little bit more time to cut her out with the pen tool. And yes guys, this is a lot more time consuming than using the quick selection tool or the magic wand tool, but I'm going to go ahead and finish off her face here, as you can see, just by using the pen tool, and just drag this out a little bit and just finish it off right there. And like I said, right click, make a selection, and go ahead and click OK. And now I'm going to zoom out a little bit. So we have a full selection of this whole lady's body. And now what we want to do here, once again, click on the selection, refine our edge, and so right now we're not getting that bad of an image. We still have a little bit of stuff in here between her arms that we can crop out later. Her foot, the only reason why her foot's looking a little weird like that is because remember, she had her leg up on that ledge, so that's not a cutting out, and it's not like I'm cutting out her ankle or nothing purposely. It's just because there's a ledge right there. But let's go ahead and go to our smart radius and turn it up to 1.4 would be good. And we want to make our brush according to size by using the brackets to make it bigger or smaller. And I'm going to go over this lady's hair. As you can see, if I zoom in here, let me go over. See, we'll zoom in a little bit more. As you can see, the sides of her hair right here have some background stuff in it, and it's not fully getting all of her hair. So if we just use this easy quick selection smart radius tool, and we just go over it a little bit, it's going to start to select out the little fragments of her hair. As you can see, it's getting a nice selection of here. And if we just go up to the top of her head and try and get the little bits of that up there, and go back over, get the rest of their head. And really what you can do, you can just do this all around the person's head, and this will get a nice selection of their hair, and it will cut out anything that's seen through her hair, any of the background that's seen through her hair, as you can see. And now what we want to do, if we zoom out a little bit more, I'll zoom in a little bit more so you guys can see here. And what we will do, we'll smooth up our edges a little bit, making it nice, and get rid of all them rough edges. As you can see before, we had, look over here on the fingers and thumbs, nice sharp pointing edges. If we just smooth that up a little bit, it will take all your edges and smooth them down, making a nice, better picture. We can feather the edges just a tad, not too much. If you want, you can play with your contrast, and you can shift your edge a little bit negative. That way it will, if you shift the edge too much, it will take away from the outside, and if you shift your edge too positive, it will give too much of an outside to it. So I like to shift my edge negative just a tad bit. -2 seems to be alright. And let's just go ahead and click OK. And let Photoshop do its thing. And we just Command I, or not Command I, but Command minus to zoom out a little bit. And we're going to use the right click, select inverse, and then we just hit the delete key. And there we go. We just made a perfect selection. Unlike before, we used a layer mask, but we just made a perfect selection, and we just have this layer. And I prefer making layer mask because you can go back and you can edit your selection, and you can add things into your selection with a layer mask. Right now, the only way to add things back in would be to use our history brush tool, which is right underneath our clone stamp tool. And if we click on that, we can start adding parts of the background back in here, as you can see. But Control Z that. And I'm going to go back to the move tool. Now what I'm going to do, guys, now that I have my selection, I'm going to Control J. This is another picture that I loaded. This is going to be the new background. And I'm just going to drag and drop it on top of the photo that we already have. Command T to transform. And I'm going to hold down the Shift key so I don't get anything that's distorted. I'm going to make it pretty darn big here. Let me just go ahead and accept this and throw my layer on top. And let me move her over so her butt's hitting the side of the wall. And let me go back over here and move my background image just a tad bit more. And if we place it right about there, so nice, so it's kind of focusing in on the foot. That looks pretty darn good. Okay, guys, if you got this far, you successfully cut out an image with the clones, or not the clone stamp tool, but with the pen tool, my bad. And so we just give you a before and after of before. This is what she looked like with the background of the trees and whatnot, and the after picture is this nice little weird looking no ankle foot with a nice little sunrise in the background. Very appealing to the eye, very eye-catching, in other words. If you like the video, guys, make sure to like it up, thumbs up the video, subscribe for more videos. If this video helped you out a lot, make sure to leave a comment down below. If you get stuck or you just have any questions or any comments about the video, make sure to leave them down below. Any future videos you may want to see, message me or do whatever. Also, another thing that I usually forgot to mention in the last video is to save it, go up to File, Save As, and if you just want the background, let me go ahead and cancel right here. If you just want the background, say that you cut out the background, the image from the background. You want to save it as a PNG file, which is known as a portable network graphics. And to do this, go up to File, Save As, change the format from a Photoshop PSD, which is an actual Photoshop document, and you want to scroll down until you find PNG. And now what this will do, if we go ahead and save this and click OK, What this will do, I'm going to save another one because some of you guys will save them as JPEGs, and you don't want to save it as a JPEG. Um, you don't want to save it as a JPEG as long as because what it will do, it will add a white transparent background, non-transparent. So pretty much you did all this work for nothing just to have a white background, and I'll show you that as well. So I'm going to save this as a JPEG. Let's go ahead and just replace it. Okay, well, it's not going to let me replace it, so minor technical error there. Number 2 is what we can save it as. Save it as a JPEG format, and just go ahead and click OK. And now, if we take the actual, this is the PNG file, and this is the JPEG. If we click open this and preview it, we don't have a background, as you can see. And so if we preview this one, we do have a white background, as you can see. I'm not really sure if you can tell the difference in here, but from my screen you can tell that there is no background here. But anyways, going back to Photoshop, what we want to do is shit, I closed out of Photoshop. But anyways, what we want to do is to just go to the file, save as. Make sure to save it as a that's not even Photoshop. I did not close out of Photoshop. I'm a ding dong. What you want to do is go back to the file and save as a actual PNG file, making sure that your background is selected, or it is showing, in other words, and just save it as a PNG file. Let me save this as final. Scroll down a little bit more. Save not Pixar, but PNG. And this will save it as a portable network graphic. And just go ahead and click OK. Command H. I'm gonna quit preload. Exit. Please exit. Okay, so now we're back on the desktop. Now see, that's the JPEG. Where did I save it as? Let's go up to Finder. Let's see. It was PNG, wasn't it? Maybe it did not save. Making this video way too long just to save a freaking file. Let's try to save this again. Yes, replace. Was it there and I just not seen it? Oh, it was right here all along. Alright, so there we go. That's our final product. And you can go ahead and upload this to the network or a website, whatever you want to do with it. Alright guys, I hope this video really helped you guys. If you like it, you know, like I said, thumbs up, favorite, like, subscribe for more videos. And I hope this helped you guys. Peace.